I'm JunkYard Rat. Welcome to the JunkYard Rat Show from the city that taught Kamala Harris how to dance. And today's guest is Coco Perez. How you doing, Coco?
Pretty good, Chris. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Awesome.
Today's 9/11 and stuff. Do you know what 9/11 means in Chile?
What?
Well, 50 years ago today, the president of Chile, Allende, was overthrown by the help of the American government. He was the first socialist ever elected in Latin America. But Kissinger and Nixon didn't like him, so they got rid of him and they put in a dictatorship.
Oh, shit.
Pinochet, he was in there for like forever. I think he still might be in power somewhere in some crazy universe. But it's been 50. Actually, I was born under that presidency. I was born under the Allende presidency, so it's 50 years ago today. I kind of feel bad that they took away our 9/11. 9/11 is known for something else, but it still means something for us. There's probably riots going on in Chile right now.
That's an interesting fact.
I just want, yeah, I'm kind of proud that I was born under a socialist president, like the first one, and it's weird because like I got family that was involved in the Pinochet presidency. One of my uncles was mayor. He was made mayor by Pinochet, but he married into the family. So, but yeah, it's this weird dynamic, Like my mom was for Pinochet because my family lost money over the Allende. So, I just want to say happy 9/11 to all my Chilenos out there. I'm going there in 2 weeks. So, how's your comedy going, Coco?
My comedy's going pretty good, Chris. Thanks for asking.
You Are you writing jokes? You got a
Yes, I have been writing jokes. It's like I said before in our last showing, like my inspiration comes from life, family situations, even work too. Recently, I actually make fun of my boss.
Tell me about your boss. You don't like him, or
Oh, she can be such a handful at times, but everything she does, it's like funny as shit.
you work in a sandwich shop, don't you?
Yes, that is correct. My life as a customer service, it is hell.
Do you like making sandwiches?
No, I don't. I don't make sandwiches. It's one of the cooks that make the sandwiches. I'm just in charge of the cashier. And basically, I just do customer service. I do the best I can just to help out the people in the area. But there are some people that can be such assholes at times.
Tell me about it. Tell me about the clients you hate at your car.
Ugh, there are some of them. They're bad, but then some of them are actually pretty good. Like for example, recently I have to deal with this one girl, and surprisingly, like I didn't really karate chopped her on the throat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because she was getting me an attitude over something. But then later she did apologize, and then she was telling me a story about her ex-boyfriend cheating on her.
Oh yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna have a good day at work. I'm just going to ignore this, and I'll just forgive her. I'll just pretend this never happened.
Yeah, there was a heckler at the comedy show I do at North Beach at Kel's like a month ago. He kept talking about how his boyfriend cheated on him, and he would yell in the middle of his set. And I told him, I'm like, your boyfriend didn't cheat on you. I mean, you weren't even in a relationship. You thought you were, you know? And he got really pissed.
Oh.
And then he wanted to fight me. And I'm like, I was trying to be helpful. But, a lot of times when I go buy something, I get shy in front of the customer service. Do you think anybody gets, part of it is that they're shy, they don't know how to talk, or?
Um, there are some people that they can be socially awkward, I suppose, only because they're not used to talking to people and stuff. Like, truthfully, I admit I can be socially awkward at times when it comes to customers, but then eventually I just got the hang of it. It's like out of my comfort zone, just talking to people. But then again, look at me doing open mics every
Yeah.
Tuesdays and some Wednesdays here and there. And speaking of our relationships, I actually agree with you on that one. It's like you guys are not even together, first of all. It's
No.
like, why would you be tripping about it? Like it was kind of obvious he's not claiming you. It's like a big fud. duh.
Yeah.
I mean, if that person says, "Hey, this is my boyfriend," or "This is my girlfriend," and I would like to show her off, it's like, okay, that means that person actually value you as a human being. Like,
Yeah.
you couldn't just sit there and just be mad at them, be like, "Oh, I thought we were together." It's like they're kind of hinting it, or like, "No, I'm not really into relationships," or "No, sorry, I'm not really into you like that." But then, what's another funny story?
Hmm.
Me and my best friend, we got into a discussions about guys, and she was telling me about her dating life, saying things like, "I come guys don't tell like them they don't tell us the truth about whether or not if they want to have a relationship or not." And I said to her, I was like, "Well, some guys, they can be liars, and they should just like tell the female the truth straight up. Like, don't keep them hanging. Like, it's kind of bullshit like when they do that."
I think it works both ways. Yeah. I mean, people, they come in with their idea what they want.
Yeah.
They might be, they want to be in a relationship. Sometimes they don't, and like they don't know how to express it. Like after a while, people then they figure out that they can't get away from them when they try and get rid of them and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. I was at Pete's earlier and I can't even read the lettering. My eyes sight is going bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just told the woman I want the pumpkin thing because I didn't know what it was called. I said I want the pumpkin thing, and she kept looking at me. What pumpkin thing?
Pumpkin latte is
I
the
know I
correct.
can't. I can't. I don't know. I can't read the menu. I gotta
Mm.
put on glasses. I don't bother, so I just like give me the pumpkin thing. Damn it. That's what I'm saying. People come in. My first job was a Great America. I worked in the hamburger department.
Oh yeah, you told me about
A
that.
couple, yeah. One time, a burger fell on the ground. I just picked it up and
Oh my god.
put it back. This was years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I'm kind of. Another time, I served somebody Coke when they
Mm-hmm.
want a Diet Coke, and then the boyfriend came back at me and said, "Hey, my girlfriend could die. She, she drank that. She drank real Coke."
Oh
And
my
I said,
god.
"Well, let me get you. Let me make sure it's a Diet Coke." But yeah, those were the two incidents. Oh no, I did get fired because I was serving beer. I was like 17. California law says you can't serve beer to people until you're
I
18.
see.
Yeah. I don't know when was the last time relationship you were in.
Oof.
Have you had a boyfriend in the city or
No, not really.
they don't make TV shows about people dating in San Francisco for a reason.
Yeah, that's true. Well, here's why though, Chris. Was just recently I've been focusing on myself, and I do love I love being single, period, point blank. Because the sad part is, like, some of these guys, they're not exactly what I'm looking for. Like, they don't have that it factor. Like, something that where my heart can actually feel something. And I feel like there's no point in me of dating at all if I don't have any feelings for this individual. So it might as well just be single. And so far, I'm actually enjoying the peace and quiet at last. Because after my previous relationship, it went downhill, like literally downhill.
Well, that's what happens when you like grow up in Sacramento.
Hmm.
It's like you have this weird idea about life and stuff.
Oh yeah.
My brother lives in Folsom, not the
Mm.
prison, but he's and
Oh my god.
I always wonder about my niece and nephew growing up in Folsom. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of weird. It's almost like, we used to make fun of Sacramento when I was a kid. I still kind of do. I do make fun of Sacramento.
You.
I don't mean to.
Ah, no worries.
I have jokes about Sacramento. Like it's kind of sexist because the word men is in Sacramento.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Do you know why there's never been a female governor in California?
Why?
Because rich women don't want to live in Sacramento. See, those are my Sacramento jokes. But it's true. There's never been a female governor in California.
I'm surprised you didn't get canceled.
We've had senators. We had like four female senators. I kind of did get canceled, but I kind of made it back because I had all my credit cards canceled when they tried to cancel me, so I didn't lose much,
I see.
But what kind of jokes? Do you have jokes about growing up in Sacramento? Or?
Not really. Here's why. Sacramento, it's the place where my heart used to belong to. It's not that I don't hate Sacramento or love Sacramento. It's just that I feel like there's a lot more options where I can actually live. And speaking of which, I was talking to my best friend, like I said, about me moving to another place. It's not Sacramento. Like I really want to live in Los Angeles for comedy and for acting, and also a possibility of doing voices for animations and stuff. Because people did say like, "Oh, you have a good voice for animation." I was like, "Why, thank you." Even one of my coworkers, Jolene, she was like, "You have that dark and airy voice that people love." I was like, "That's what I was looking for."
That's true. You should practice like reading books out loud,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh yeah, I actually did that. Did I ever told you the story about how I proved my professor I was a better actress than these bozos around me?
Oh yeah, let me hear that.
All right.
You're in
So
City College, aren't you? Or...
I'm just taking a break at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so here's what happened. This happened on the summer semester. We were doing this play called A Dollhouse. I play one of the main wife, which is Nora. She's like this bitter old hag that she's not happy with her marriage, and she's beginning to realize that this is not the situation that she want to be at. But the reason why she married her husband, it was just for money. It was never for love. Only because back in the 1800s where females don't have that lot of
Oh
rights
yeah,
versus the now. Now we have rights for anything. Like we can own a business, we can do property, and we can actually divorce our husband for any reason. It's just back then you cannot have a divorce. It's like it's a big fat, oh, too bad for you. You cannot own this property or that property. So it was like, how do you say, it was less freedom for a female to be independent back in those days.
yeah.
So when I play the role, like I feel goosebumps in me. Like I nailed it. I was like, oh my god, I feel another another dimension. It's like you being inside of a black room. It's just you and the character. Recently, I was watching some videos on how to act.
Hmm.
You have to understand the character, about their psychology, and be the character. And I was the character. And then when I played the character, I was serious. I was mad at my husband because he didn't really stand up for me when the situation went down. And when I did this scene, everybody in my classroom liked it. And then the first thing I told my professor, I was like, "You see, I told you so. I can do this shit. Take that, you." I was like, "Take that, you asshole."
Yeah.
And I seriously bowed down, like, "Pfft,"
What,
and thank you.
what did the professor say?
He didn't say anything. He just put his head down. His face was red.
You know, it's still like that. Like in Chile, my godparents in Chile, there's not divorce. There's kind of divorce, and my godparents were filthy rich, and my godfather decided to stick it to my godmother for the divorce, and if and he gave more money to my cousins, his kids, than my godmother. My godmother didn't get any money out of them, and
Oh.
she had to fight him, and they were like married. It's like it's crazy that you think about it. In some countries, it's still like that. Like it really upset me, I mean, that this happened. Like it's crazy. I mean, they're like wealthy people. They've always been wealthy. It's like it kind of pissed me off that he tried to screw with my godmother and stuff.
Sounds like my mom's side of the family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
like, the memories. That's why I drink tequila.
oh yeah. Well, my parents went through a crazy divorce, but yeah, my mom didn't want to be married for years.
Mm.
And then one day, I was in college when the divorce happened, and my dad found somebody else. So he
Mm.
decided, okay, you wanted a divorce for years. I guess it's okay. And my mom like freaked out, and nobody knew why
Mm.
because we all knew, like we all knew. We all knew, but it was a control thing. It's like
Yeah.
and the first thing she did, she went to Chile and she had plastic surgery, had her stomach pumped. I don't know. And
Huh.
I'm like, yeah,
I
that's what
feel
you.
like we have the same mom.
I don't know. I mean, it's crazy. It's like, yeah, that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna like go get.
Except that it wasn't the belly part, it was the boob part.
Oh yeah, your mom got bigger boobs.
She tried to, but then she decided not to.
Well, my mom was already like packaged. So
Hmm.
she didn't need bigger boobs. That wasn't a problem. But yeah, it was crazy. It was weird. Like, yeah, like, and my mom, I don't think she ever wanted to be married at all.
Yeah.
But back when, in the 60s, they claimed they were virgins when they got married. It was a different, it was because in the 60s in Chile was a different time.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was just weird. I bet your parents went through a crazy divorce or something.
Yes, but then I was a different 10-year-old back in the day. Like, it didn't really affect me as much, but then again, I did have to grow up pretty quickly because like at that moment it's like it didn't really I don't want to say like, oh, my parents are divorced so I'm gonna get into trouble. No, I was more considerate and more understanding about the situation because I realized my father was really miserable in his marriage. So I decided, just like any other, I don't know how some 10-year-old acts, but I acted pretty mature for my age. So then I was like, okay, I understand. You got divorced, big deal. Let's move on. I mean, that's how I was taught back in the day. But then again, like I was raised by men, which is my two grandfathers from different families.
Oh,
One of my dad's side of the family,
yeah.
one from my mom's side of the family, and also my onenchan, which is my older brother. He's not really my brother exactly. He's just my cousin, but it's just a cute little Japanese nickname I give him. Is
Okay.
my onenchan, and also my dad. Like I was basically raised by men, so that's why I'm a little bit more tougher and I have that masculine personality. Even though some people be like, "So where do you learn how to do your makeup?" I was like, "Well, that's easy. YouTube. YouTube has everything."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta be tough. I mean, living in the San Francisco, you gotta be tough to live out here.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be afraid to send women to the studio, like to walk around all the fentanyl drug use outside.
Oh
But
yeah.
since you live out here, I'm like, yeah, you're probably used to all that.
No,
But if
not really. I still feel really uncomfortable about me walking around here. So what I do is I seriously me mug everybody around me.
yeah,
Like I have to do the tough walk like er.
Okay, that makes sense to me now. That's why you looked at me like you did. No, I'm just kidding. Me all the way.
I,
It's a how do you say it's a mechanism that I have to
A
do.
coping
A
mechanism.
coping mechanism. It's like me, acting out, being like the tough girl. It's
It's
like I
asserting
actually
yourself and letting them
yeah.
know, stay the F back.
Yeah, exactly. It's like stay the fuck away from me. It's like, no, I'm not into you. And no, you live in the streets. It's like, who the fuck are you? Oh yeah, so back to the whole divorce thing as a 10-year-old. So from there I was actually a pretty good student back in those days. I had perfect attendance. I did all the homework and stuff, the assignments, to the point where I was actually rewarded. My teacher's like, which of these assignments you want to do? I was like, I want to do farm work. She says, really? Again? Why? I was like, because I love to be around animals than people. So that's where I got this idea where someday in the near future, I want to own a farm with horses and also my own little doggy farm too.
I've never been on a horse. Have you been on a horse?
No, I pet a horse.
Oh, you been on a horse?
Yeah. It's just something about animals. It gives you a stress-free feeling versus people. People are just very unpredictable, especially on their personalities and mindsets.
Well, I went to Fresno State. Like, that's a big farming school. Like, yeah, one of my roommates was our cultural major. Yeah, it's like a different way of life. Yeah, like my godparents had a big ass farm. They used to grow wine and stuff.
Ooh, I'm
Yeah.
jealous of them already.
Well, no, they,
That is my paradise.
you would love to like live in a winery and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, believe it or not, my ultimate goal is to live in a cabinet. because I don't really like people that much. I don't like neighbors. I don't like talking to them. It's like, please stay away from me. I'd rather talk to this raccoon over here named Pee-wee. Like, come here, Pee-wee.
That happens to me. I like to avoid people. Like when I'm on BART, I'm on the last BART train because it's usually empty. But that's where everybody's doing drugs. So it's always weird and stuff. You know, like, do you ride
Yeah.
BART a lot or you don't ride?
No.
You live in the city, you don't have to ride
Yes.
BART and stuff.
No. But I'm gonna perform on improv in San Jose.
Oh,
For
when
open
are you,
mic.
when are you doing that? Have you done it?
Wednesday.
Have you done it all this Wednesday? Have you done it before? Or-
No, first time for everything, right?
Yeah, I used to do the San Jose Improv open mic years ago. Back in the days, you could just show up in those days. Are you ready for that, or
Yeah, I am ready.
like have you been to San Jose Improv? Or
No, first time.
yeah, it's like in downtown and stuff.
Mm.
I think Tommy T's has an open mic too. Have you been to Tommy T's? Or
No, I haven't.
yeah, the improv is gonna be good. So how are your jokes? Are you writing new jokes or?
Yes, I have been writing some jokes. Like I said, my jokes are basically about my life and also my typical customer service. I seriously diss my boss because I had a customer complaining to me saying, "Hey, did you know your boss acted like a complete Karen?" Like she seriously exaggerated. She would start screaming, saying, "Ah, someone help me! I'm in danger!" And then he was like, "Yeah, I'm embarrassed for you because you have a boss like that." And I was like, "Oh my God, you're right. I'm very embarrassed by that."
But like when you talk about in danger, we are
No,
talking
she's-
about San
she
Francisco.
was like she was exaggerating because so the customer I have, he was African American, and I didn't know she was like a low key racist until one of my coworkers confirmed it. She goes like, "You didn't know your boss was a low key racist?" I was like, "No." It just never really dawned on me like that.
By the way, we'd like to thank viewers on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, especially all the thumbs up on JunkYard Rat's page. He likes those stars. Throw him some stars. He needs
Throw
some
me
money
some
to
sta-
support this,
Hell yeah, I need
this
some
venture
money.
he's doing, man.
I need
Give
some
him some shmoney.
because I signed up for the Facebook to get Facebook money, but they're not. What's up with Facebook? I got an email from them saying we got your financial information, we got your credit cards. Like, are they gonna start charging people or what? Why are they telling me that they got? I never gave Facebook my credit card numbers.
I never heard of it, but I did got hacked one time.
Oh yeah, you got hacked. That's
Yeah.
right, you got hacked.
Normally, I will say things like, "Who will hack me?" But then, ever since I became popular, like now I'm just like the ultimate target, basically.
I actually like yeah, I went into that. I went into the email because for fun because I'm not really afraid of getting hacked, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually I thought you actually had pictures of me somewhere. I'm like, what kind of pictures did you find?
Oh,
of me?
no. I could never do that.
So how did they somebody just went in and took over your Facebook page or
Yeah, pretty much. I haven't really, I don't know who's the person exactly, but then it's like what my father once says to me. He goes like, ever since you became a little bit popular with your comedy and stuff, you're basically an open target for people. And I was like, yeah, I don't really blame you. But then, like, he did tell me about this, but then I was fully prepared for it. Like, recently I had a troll, which I didn't know it was a former friend of mine. Because it seriously says something about username invalid or whatever.
mm-hmm.
I was like, who is this person? And then it turns out it was one of my former friends saying some comments about our previous podcast that we did. And then the first thing I said to her, I was like, who the fuck are you to tell me what I can and cannot say on the podcast?
Mm-hmm.
And also, were you the one who actually abandoned me, like literally? And then thanks to her, she when she added the fire, it's like now I'm not only I'm pissed off, but you just added the fire to my flames. I'm gonna keep on work my ass off until I get to the top. And you better watch out.
Oh yeah, you're gonna go burned down Sacramento one day, and so.
Oh no, she lives around this area.
Oh, does she really?
Yeah.
Well, we gotta egg her house or something.
I wish. No, 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 no.
Do you egg people? Do people still egg people or anymore?
Yeah.
When I was in high school, we egged people and stuff.
To be honest, like at the moment, you know the old saying, "Kill them with success."
Yeah.
I'd rather do that.
I went to see a movie called Bottoms that came out a couple weeks ago. And yeah, they were egging people in high school. I'm like, that reminds me of my high school days and stuff.
Like I said, I was actually a good girl throughout elementary school, middle school, and high school. High school was a different. I mean, I'm not high school, but college was a different ball game. That's when I started the drinking and more of the hanging out.
What college did you go to?
City college. Same
Oh
thing.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, one of my friends used to work at City College. He said they're losing their accreditation or
Accreditation. What is that?
I mean it's like the state decided that they're so shitty as a college that they
They
might
won't back them up. Basically, they won't let them say, "Oh, like okay, oh, you're a graduate of whatever college. Oh, that's like being a graduate of Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh my god.
yeah.
The one you get in the mail or whatever."
I can see why people are quitting teaching.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
also they're probably the most underpaid and under admired, and well, I won't say under admired. They are the underdogs. They're having to supply school supplies for their students out of their pockets, and they don't get paid shit.
Yeah.
True.
And they're
sorry,
the ones
Miss
that have
Crackle.
to deal with all the bad stuff and get none of the glory for it. So, by the way, you guys, we do have our chat feature up. So if you have any questions for Coco or Junkyard Rat, throw them up. We'll see them. We'll answer them in real time, folks. So there you go. Go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
So, yeah, I have a Barbie joke. I do a Barbie and I do an Oppenheimer joke too. Like, I try and keep it like new. Have you seen Barbie yet? Or?
Oh no.
Yeah. So I saw a bunch of people walking around wearing pink at the Barbie movie, and my friend's like, "Hey, we should go to Oppenheimer dressed up as bombs." And he's like, "You do Fat Man, I'll be Little Boy," because
Oh my God.
those are the names of the bombs, right? That's my Barbie joke and stuff.
Oh.
That's my new joke.
What?
That's my
What the
joke.
heck?
That's my joke.
Dang. Oh yeah, speaking of teachers, I like to appreciate 3 of my awesome teachers throughout the years. Miss Crackle, Miss Culture, and also Mr. Neal, the math teacher. Surprisingly, he never quit on me when I couldn't figure out a freaking algebra problem.
I couldn't pass algebra. I didn't even get through pre-algebra. And my dad's an engineer. Like, I should know math, but I couldn't even do pre-algebra. Like, yeah, I don't know. I even got into college without math. I took like a philosophy math class that cleared my math. But yeah, I don't know why I couldn't do math. And I can add up shit quickly in my head and stuff. Did you like math classes or?
Not really. I'm not really into math, but I'm really into like writing and art. Like I love to draw.
Do you like doing poetry and stuff? Or?
Yeah.
I have one of my former guests on this show about a month and a half from Seattle. He keeps posting depressing stuff on his Facebook, like he's all depressed and he puts depressing poems. And I don't know how to deal with that. It's like, is he like reaching out? Like, what do you think of people who post really depressing stuff? Like, I'm really sad on Facebook. Like, how are you supposed to deal with that?
Wait, that was his poem?
Yeah, he wrote a poem by.
I thought he was ranting.
He wasn't ranting, but he's like, some days I can't get through life, and it's like depressing. And after a while, I'm like, I kind of, he was a guest here, but we're not friends. I don't know if I should reach out or it's kind of, to me, it's like, I don't know what to do with things like that.
I'm guessing like he's just expressing out his depressions and stuff. That's how some people are when it comes to writing. It's more like it's basically you expressing yourself. Like for example, like NWA was our raps. They talk about the streets, they talk about the cops, they talk about, basically almost anything about their environment around them. and that's why I love hip hop like NWA and Tupac Shakur. He did say we all have to change our ways. Like we gotta change the way we live, the change we eat.
Oh yeah. Yeah, NAA was really good. Like when they first came out and stuff. And Tupac, I was actually in Vegas 2 weeks after Tupac got killed. I was down there.
Oh shit.
I know it's crazy to think back, but yeah, to this day I still think about who killed Tupac. Like I'm all fascinated with all that stuff. But do you go to any shows, like music shows, or
Pretty soon I'm gonna go to the aftershock in Sacramento.
oh the aftershock? Who's playing down there?
Godsmack
Oh
and
yeah.
Skillet.
How do you get to Sac? Do you take those buses?
I actually take Amtrak all the
Amtrak?
way to Sacramento.
I take the Flix bus. Have you heard of Flix?
No.
There's like two bus companies that go down there. Flix. I think they leave from the city or like West Oakland Bar. There's another one, but it's like $10 or
I only take Amtrak just to go to Sacramento. And then
oh yeah on the
afterwards,
train. Yeah,
I take Uber and then I spent the night at my mom's house.
you take Uber all the way to Sacramento. How much?
No, so here's the thing. Like, I take Amtrak to Sacramento, and then from there, I take Uber to my mom's because she works around the weekdays, like early in the morning. I don't know how her schedule is right now. I remember before I left home, she used to work on Thursdays night, and she won't get home until like 8 or 9 p.m. And these days, it's very hard for me to predict her schedules and all that stuff because they switch. Then again, she does have her own business, so she makes her own schedules and stuff.
Oh, what does she do?
She cleans houses for a living.
Oh, okay, that's good. I
Yeah.
was gonna guess hospital, like nursing and stuff.
My mom?
I
No.
wish my mom used to work all night long. I don't know if I should fit that. But I
My
mean,
mom, she is such a workaholic.
oh yeah.
I guess that's where I got one of her good genes, which is me being a workaholic and stuff.
I'm the opposite. Like my mom is a cleanaholic, but I don't like cleaning at all. Like I guess it's because she used to clean so much. Like I felt bad about it. Like you like to clean, I'm just gonna let you clean. You know, like I, I can't clean at all. Like maybe I don't have a clean gene. You know.
I somewhat clean only whenever I feel like it because most days at work I just feel tired.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just like I just want to go to sleep.
You work like 8 hour days and stuff. Or?
No, not really. Just 5 or 6 hours. Only because I don't want to be at work too early. It's just to me, work is it just drains me.
Yeah.
Not just dealing with customers, but also having to do a lot of extra work.
Yeah, you gotta clean up afterwards.
Yeah.
What's your favorite sandwich there? Is there
Just chicken club or tuna melt.
oh yeah. You work at a Subway or is it Subway?
No, I work at Buildings.
Where's that at?
Somewhere around the Macy's area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stores that are closing down. I heard a lot of high-end stores are moving into that area though.
I was gonna say, me personally, I don't really blame high-end stores for closing down. I mean, if you check out the area around here, it's like, who wants to come? Oh man, I should tell you a story what happened to me last night. So
Let me
I
hear.
have this customer, she found like a pair of Buddha shorts on the woman's restroom.
Uh-huh.
She goes that could be anybody's like booty shorts. It could be your coworkers, it could be your friends, it could be somebody missing. And then on the top of my head, I was like, then why would you waste your money in San Francisco? It's like you're gonna see this kind of crap everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Like there's a bunch of crackheads, a lot of homeless people, and on the way here, I seriously saw crap everywhere on the streets.
Yeah, it's everywhere. I mean, it's crazy. Like, it's amazing. I'm just happy that the people on drugs don't look at me asking me for drugs. Like, I always like the fact that they look at me, they're like, no, that guy. But yeah, it's crazy out here. It's like, and the amount of people that are on drugs right here, it's like,
Now,
and it's like shopping out here is getting bad. Like I went to
Yeah.
the Ross, and I feel like I get followed. Like there's so many security people working at these stores like Target.
Mm-hmm.
Like people just follow you around these days. Like, why
Well,
even shop? If you're gonna get
welcome to my
followed.
world. That
Yeah.
happens to me. That was before this whole pandemic thing happened. Like back in those days, I was once followed around by a security guard. You know that Forever 21
Oh yeah,
that used
Forever
to be there?
21.
Yeah, so I was hanging out with my friends. We were just doing our shopping. Of all the girls that were there, he decided to follow me.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I did dress kind of like a chola way. I had the loop earrings, the eyeshadow, and I mean the smoky eye, and the lipstick. And I didn't dress like your. I don't want to sound like racist or anything like that. I didn't dress like your typical white girl
Mm-hmm.
bougie style, that kind of thing, because that's not my style. My style is just your regular Latin girl, which is
Mm.
the lipsticks and the nice makeup and the loop earrings.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're basically like another Selena, basically.
Mm-hmm.
That's always been my look from day one.
Are you talking about J-Lo, Selena, or the others?
The
Other-
real Selena.
Oh, the real Selena.
Yeah, you know the whole beady beady bum bum. Yeah. So, and then one of the cashiers, she forgot to take off the little security tags off the earrings.
Oh yeah.
And then, like I said, of all the girls, he pointed at me. He's like, "You, let me see your bag." I was like, "Okay." And then he saw the receipt, and he goes, "Oh, it was just a mistake." And then I kind of look at him, just like, "No, duh, Sherlock." And there was this Latina girl right next to me, and then I kind of figured out why he didn't pick her over me.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, she just dressed another bougie ass white girl. She's basically whitewash.
Yeah. I carry a little backpack now, so they don't think I'm like ripping
Yeah.
off the store.
Mm-hmm.
I was at Target. I actually had some guy security come up to me and say, "Hey, what's up, boss?" I'm looking at the energy drink section. He's like, "What's up, boss?"
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, but yeah, I see those things that they put on liquor. I see them on the floor all over the bar stations. Like those things don't keep anybody from ripping shit off anyway. It's crazy, but I don't know what else they can do except like just let us have everything for free at this point. The more security, the more I think about ripping the store off myself. I'm like,
Yeah.
there's so much security here. I feel like I'm supposed to rip them off at this point, like I don't want to, but it's like,
It's like I pay for my shit. So
yeah, I pay for my shit.
And also there was this other time where I was at the Great Mall. I'm Milpitas.
Yeah, Milpitas, I love
Yeah.
that mall.
Yeah, that's my favorite mall.
Yeah.
And then I was in Hot Topic. I was just minding my own business. And then two of the girls, she actually exaggerates. Like, she literally screamed out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what the fuck did this happen? And then one of the other salesperson, like, she just keep on harassing me. She goes like, "Do you want me to hold that for you? Do you want me to hold that for you?" And I keep telling her no. And then after 5 minutes, I was like, you know what? I'll just pay for this shit. Then I'll just leave.
Yeah.
And then I told Papa Bear, which is my father.
Mm-hmm.
He was upset about the situation. He goes, "Do you want me to go in and deal with it?" I was like, "No, Dad. Knowing your attitude, people may not hear the next day."
Was he like hibernating in the winter at that time?
No.
Was he?
He's the kind of person, he's very overprotective of me.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I call him Papa Bear, because he likes to protect his cub.
Do you take him to the open mics? Or
No,
does he go to the comedy shows at all? Or?
no.
Oh, yeah. How you get to the Great Mall? I take the BART down there.
So at the time, it was just me and my dad. He also wanted to explore around the mall. It was basically like another father and daughter outing, that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm more independent. He kind of see it as, okay, you're a grown ass woman, bye.
Did you ditch
I was
him
like,
in
bye,
the mall?
Dad.
Or?
Yeah.
That's a great mall. You just keep walking around and walking around. Yeah. It's got Burlington Coat Factory. There used to be a Burlington out here.
I was gonna say they still have it at the Great Mall.
Oh, yeah.
Never mind.
I go to the Great. Yeah, I go there every couple months just for fun. Like, I like that mall. I take the BART down there, like
Yeah.
to Milpitas and stuff. Yeah.
Me too, only because around this area, it's not really my thing. To me, it's pretty boring.
Yeah.
I like to explore on other places, like somewhere around the East Bay, like Concord Mall.
Oh yeah, the Concord Mall.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I live. Yeah, that's where the area I live. The funny thing is, I live in the 925 area code,
Mhm.
and we're actually on. That's when we're going to Chile on 925. So I was asking my mom, is that like, did the psychic tell you to fly in 925? Like what? Because the 18th of September, next Monday is, it's actually our 4th of July. So I thought, why aren't we gonna be there for the 18th? It's our 4th of July. We gotta be there for that. But yeah, yeah, like a lot. There used to be a mall where I grew up called Valco that they took it down. Now it's all condos. It's kind of sad to me knowing that the mall I used to get at as a kid is gone.
Mhm.
My elementary school is gone too in San Jose. They tore it down to build housing. All this new housing, and it's not even benefiting me.
Yeah.
That's true. So, what kind of, you got a whole new setup for San Jose Improv or?
Yeah, so I'm gonna talk about my old high school sweetheart back in the day, how he tried to train me for his ex-girlfriend. And I didn't like the way how they set up the whole situation.
He tried to
It's like
trade
I'm
you
a
or train? What did you say? Train?
trade.
He tried to trade you?
He tried
Oh,
to switch me up.
oh yeah.
So here was his bullshit excuse.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "Oh, you're not mature enough." I was like, "You're not mature either, Mister. Oh, I'm so holy, but then you're too busy being so damn flirtatious at church." It's like my definition of church is you're just there to pray and heal. You're not supposed to use the house of God
Are you
for your own
Catholic? Or?
selfish. Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. So he was flirting in church.
Yeah, he was flirting in church, and yet I'm against that because you're supposed to there just to pray and heal. It's like to me that's just, and you call yourself like a Christian, like your so-called typical Christian. It's like I told Cheryl, I was like, why can't you just say the pussy was good and easy? Just say that.
Say that. You
I
gotta
wouldn't
laugh.
just understand that on the doubt.
God made vaginas too. Like, there's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that. What kind of
And
church you
then
go to and stuff?
And then the first thing I told him straight up, I was like, she's just using you to get back at this one guy.
Hmm.
And he goes, how do you know that? Because I know her mindset, I know her game. And let's be realistic, you and that junk, it ain't that big.
That's right.
It's pretty much small.
Did you switch him up? Like, Jesus doesn't like you. Jesus didn't give you a big enough dick for me.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, that's why she's falling for the black guy because he has a bigger dick than you.
Yeah. A,
And
fri
then,
a friend of mine, she got like, I was talking to a friend of mine and she got like some black guy who's also a friend of mine sent her a dick pic and she sent back, no, your dick is just too big for me. I'm like, that's always fun to hear. Yeah, so what happened to this guy? You still talk to him? Or?
no, I broke up with him a while back when it was after graduation. I actually officially broke up with him.
Are you like 25 or
26 actually.
26? That's like, yeah, so do your friends see you on stage? Do they know you do comedy or?
One of them, yeah. Two of my main best friends, Anna and Nicole from Sacramento. Nicole knows I've been doing comedy because I guess you can say it was the whole acting thing that when it started out. I was like, normally I will say things like, who will hack me? But then I've been on the public eye recently. And then she was like, I'm glad you're doing comedy. At least you're being popular on stage. I was like, why, thank you.
Oh, yeah. This guy, it's hot in here.
Oh yeah, it's hella hot. I'm sorry, man.
It's hella hot
worries.
in
I'm
here.
turning on the fan, folks. Wow.
It's getting
all
hot
right.
in here.
It's that body heat in this place.
It's only like 50 degrees outside.
World.
You can sing. I used to think I could
It's a
sing, and I
classic.
recorded myself doing karaoke one day, and I realized I can't really sing that well.
It's about practice. Practice makes perfect. Like I always did listen to mariachi bands and bandas since I was just a little girl.
Oh yeah, who are your favorite musicians?
Jenny Rivera.
Oh yeah.
Vicente Fernandez.
I was watching a show about Jenny Rivera.
Oh,
About
Mariposa
uh,
de
no,
Barrio.
I was watching some documentary about who
Oh.
killed like
Oh.
about she died in the plane
Oh yeah,
crash
she
and
did.
they didn't
Rest
invest
her soul, by the
they
way.
did an investigation. Were drug dealers involved in her plane crash or
Mm-hmm.
I guess sh I guess when you perform in Mexico you gotta deal with a bunch of drug dealers and stuff.
Ooh, the sad part is, yeah, you do. That's why I don't like going to Mexico too often.
Oh yeah.
Even though my cousins are like, "Oh, going to Mexico is so much fun," it's like not the way how I see it.
What part of Mexico? What's
They're from like it's literally the smallest town ever, one nobody ever heard of. It's right next to Jalisco's and Michoacan.
oh yeah.
It's around between the two.
I think my stepmom's from Pachuca.
Mm-hmm.
No, from the San Luis or something from the
Yeah.
area.
And then I remember when I was 15, my cousins used to say things like, "Hey, when you go to the border, make sure you don't say the hometown." I was like, "Why?" They said that like, "Oh, it's because they make fun of us. That's why."
Oh yeah.
Just say one of the biggest cities out there. I was like, "You mean like Mexico City?" They go, "You can also do Guadalajara también."
Oh yeah.
I was like, "Okay."
I was born in the capital of Chile. I was born in Santiago.
Hmm.
But when I go back, I only like Santiago. I don't know why.
So how is the border? Like, do they also make fun of people with the hometowns or?
I don't know because I think the thing is that a lot of my cousins didn't grow up in the capital,
Hmm.
but they all live in the capital now because when you're down in a third world country, if you want a good job, you're gonna end up in the capital anyway. But yeah, it's like
Oh, so
yeah,
yours is more different from ours, but then again, it's Mexico.
yeah.
They actually discriminate, certain people and stuff, and
I think
status and color. It's so different from America, to be honest.
uh,
Like, believe it or not, like I'm actually half black
uh,
because my mother's side of the family, they're also African, and they don't want to like declare themselves as Afro Latinos, just Spaniards all the way.
it's true. What about you? Do you like list yourself as half black on the
Yeah,
census?
I
Or-
do. Heck yeah. You know what's the most amazing thing about being black? I
Mhm.
can literally use it. Be
Yeah,
like, here is my black card.
I know.
Take it or leave it. Then some people be like, wait a minute, you're black? I'm like, yeah, I got proof. My brother is actually full black. He has the dark skin and the nappy hair.
Is he your stepbrother? Or
No, a real brother.
your real brother?
Yeah,
That's cool. Is he older brother? Or...
younger. I'm the oldest.
Oh yeah. No, I'm the youngest. I got an older brother and stuff.
Mhm.
Do you like being the oldest? That's gotta be. I mean, that's
It's
gotta be.
it's a lot of responsibilities being the oldest. Like I'm surprised that my brother and my two sisters they're actually quite successful. Like I'm just a bit shocked. I was like, damn, I did a pretty good job as an older sister.
Oh yeah.
Because my brother now he does computer work and stuff. He already graduated from college. He already moved out, which I'm really proud of him.
Mhm.
Although I still have that leaving the nest syndrome. But then after a day, it's like, woohoo, he's gone.
Oh yeah.
Freedom.
He used to live out here with you guys, or?
Yeah, he used to. And as for my sister, my little 10-year-old Choco, that's her little nickname from us.
Mhm.
She's pretty smart. And what's funny about her, she goes, I'm the smart one. I'm like the future child of this family. Jimena likes to field. I was like, don't say that.
Oh, is her name Jimena? Or?
My youngest
yeah.
sister.
Yeah,
And
the family nickname for us was Choppa. They used to call us Choppa.
although I used to look at my sister, I was like, should I be concerned about her future? She goes, yeah. I was like, oh my God.
She's 10 years old. I mean, like,
My youngest, she's about 9.
does she have a cell phone already?
No, she doesn't.
They wouldn't give my niece and nephew cell phones until they were in high school. Like, they didn't want them having cell phones. Like,
I didn't have mine until I was 13.
oh yeah. Sometimes I wish I didn't have to carry a cell phone. Like,
Mm.
I, I feel like people just watch you all the time with cell phones and stuff.
Was me the reason why I have a cell phone because it's actually a good resource. It's
Hmm.
good for calling, texting, social media, Uber Eats. It's good. It's like an extra help at hands, basically.
I got friends who call me. I'm like, why can't you just text? Why call me?
I much prefer for my friends to call me because
Uh,
when believe it or not, I'm actually pretty lazy on texting.
yeah,
Even though texting's about you writing down your feelings, even till then, I'm just like, I'm lazy. Just call me.
that's good. So, do you like being like in San Francisco? Or you like being out here?
Mm, to be honest, it's more like a yes and no kind of thing. Yes, I do, only because it gives you more opportunities as an artist.
Hmm.
Like when it comes to comedy and acting as well. Like there's more opportunities over here versus in Sacramento. Sacramento is like there's barely anything over there.
Hmm.
As much as it hurts me, but it's true. It's just another small little town. In fact, I recently wrote something about my little hometown.
Oh yeah.
It's like seeing an old ex-boyfriend. At first, the feelings were like wild, like oh ah, but then after a while, it's like it just starts to fades away little by little. And now I decided to move on and have more better options for myself. And that's where LA started popping in.
What part of LA would you go to?
Um, there's this one area where I want to own my cabin at.
Hmm.
It's called Black Bear Lake, I believe.
But that's not like that's like maybe a couple hours from LA, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
2 hours. That's where all the snow is. Do you ski or?
No, I just like to be around nature and stuff.
Yeah, I grew up in San Jose, but like to me, what kind of surprises me all the tourists that come down
Hmm.
here because I'm like, there's nothing to see. What do people see in San Francisco? Like,
The pier, the Golden Gate Bridge.
yeah, but after that, it's like, I mean, I took my aunt to Haight Ashbury.
Yeah.
I mean, you take them to the Castro, but after a while, you're like, I mean, why not just go
Yeah.
to LA instead? Like, I'm like, after a
Oh
while, I'm
yeah,
like,
that's
this
true.
place sucks. It's so
And
boring.
maybe I want to see around Koreatown. Koreatown looks pretty cool in Los Angeles.
Oh yeah, Koreatown, yeah. Have you done any open mics in LA? Have you been down there?
Not yet, but I will pretty soon, but not at the moment. Only because I'm just trying to figure out my finances and stuff. Like, here's what happened in the past month. So my boss, she actually forgot about me
She
for two
forgot.
weeks.
Mm.
She didn't put me on the schedule for 2 freaking weeks. And I was serious, like, she seriously, like, financially damaged me completely. So afterwards, like, I was struggling for money, but then I got hired at this one taqueria shop at the pier. But then I was let go because I wasn't happy about the job because I realized it was a lot of work.
Oh yeah, I mean
Like
Pier 39.
yeah, they want to make everything all perfect and stuff.
Uh,
And I'm somebody that who likes to do one thing. It's impossible for me to be like, pleasing customers and then doing all this extra work at the same time. It's like I don't. It's like I'm terrible at multitasking at the same time.
have you been to Papalotes?
No.
It's like on I think 26 and Harrison or
Oh.
yeah, I know the owner. He's a comedian.
Hmm.
Yeah. So,
And so, anyways, like the owner of the restaurant, he was like, "Are you happy about this job?" I was like, "No, I just want money."
yeah.
It's like a big fat no, because it's just for me to have a little money in my pocket, just for me to perform and stuff. And until recently, my boss, the one I have now, she was like, "Hey, I put you back in the schedule." I was like, "Oh, thank God." And then when I went back to work and I told my other boss slash friend, I was like, the good thing about you, Ryan, is the fact that you don't expect me to smile when it comes to customers. In fact, this is my smile. I'm just like, "Hi, how are you?
I mean,
Which one do you want?"
you don't need to smile. You're just taking people's orders and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But then the other owner of the restaurant, he kind of have some expectations about me. It's like, how the hell do you want me to act so bubbly and be so happy when it comes to customer service?
I don't like going to taquerias because I don't like spicy food, and
Mm-hmm.
I always feel like they judge me. Like I tell them I don't like anything spicy.
Yeah.
They look at me like there's something wrong with you. Like, the hell's wrong with you? Like,
And then you know what's funny? I actually use that situation on my comedy sketch
oh
because
yeah,
I figure it was pretty funny though. Because it's
yeah,
true. It's like three generations of the Perezes, and this is literally our smile.
yeah.
We still work hard, but this is our smile. This is my grandpa's smile, my dad's smile, and my smile. In fact, I never seen my pop smile for anything unless he threatened one of my exes, be like, "I'll kill you
No,
for dating my
you
daughter."
do have a nice smile. I mean, like you can't smile like, but I mean, I haven't done customer service in years,
Mhm.
so I don't know what it's kind of hard to have to smile every time somebody shows up. You're working at Taqueria. It's not like you're working at Hooters or something, you know. You don't need to be
Why
smiling that much, you know.
Hooters,
You're
really?
you're just taking orders, you know.
Hmm.
I went to a Hooters with my mom one time. We're not talking about a strip club. It's just a place where they got food.
It's
You know?
Applebee's with people with short shorts on.
Yeah, you know. I think it was in Santa Monica
We love
too.
short shorts.
We were in a Hooters in Santa Monica and stuff. There used to be a casino in Vegas. They used to have a Hooters casino, but
Hooters could see.
yeah, I don't think people should force you to smile if you don't want. You know, you're just taking.
Well, not even. It's like it's not exactly my career choice to be
Yeah.
in the restaurant industry for the rest of my life. It's mostly comedy because I love seeing, my one of my favorite idols like Cristela Orlando,
Mhm.
because she also have a how do you say? She had a struggle growing up. She was poor back in the day. She actually lived in a diner at some point.
Mhm.
And I sit there and I said to myself, I was like, if she can do it, I can do it too.
Mhm.
I also want to become very famous like her. And I do want to perform on Netflix and stuff and get
Oh
like a nice
yeah.
contract.
You should. Yeah. I think everybody wants to do that. Yeah. So, you got new jokes planned for the improv? I
Yeah.
remember one time I was booked for the improv. This
Like
was
I
like
said.
five,
Oh,
6 years
sorry.
ago, and
Yeah.
I was booked there. I kind of overdid it. They kept asking me if I wanted any drinks. I drank like 5 Red Bulls one night because they kept. I thought it was fun. They kept bringing me whatever I wanted. I'm like, this is kind of fun. So I like, yeah, bring me another one. I drank like 5 of them, but I didn't even
Yeah.
get sick. But one time I had a big ass rock star, and I was puking on that. So
Oh, I see.
yeah,
Well, like I said, I'm just gonna do one of my famous jokes, which is me making fun of my ex-boyfriend back in high school about his size and stuff. And then the second joke is gonna be me giving my sister the talk.
oh
Like we
yeah,
actually saw a live action in the Animal Planet.
oh,
And my sister saw two birds. We were on Roseville, right? And
mhm.
she seriously thought they were fighting. She goes, "They're fighting! They're fighting!" And then I pulled my sister aside. I was like, "Fernanda, come here. They're not fighting. They're actually being intimate." She goes, "Oh." I was like, "Eh." I think she gets to saw the the live action of the Animal Planet.
Did you explain the whole birds and the bees thing to her?
Oh no, she saw it. I was like, "They're
Uh,
just being intimate." And then she goes, "Oh." I was like, "Hey, it's better than me when I first had the talk."
I don't know if I ever had that talk with my parents, but I did find their porn collection one time, and but
Actually,
they
that's
had it
all.
locked up in a cat. They had it locked up with a key.
Yeah.
It's my fault that I broke into it though. But they did have one porno where they had a three-way with a mother and a daughter, and
What?
I kept wondering if my dad was like into my grandma or something.
What the fuck?
And then my dad had one where he had some woman squirting, just stuff that this was back in the
Yeah.
'80s, huh? And then I lent that video to a friend of mine. And he got pissed,
Hmm.
but he wouldn't tell me why he was pissed. But he's like, he was yelling at me one day, and I'm like, "What are you yelling at me about?" He wouldn't tell me.
Yeah, yeah.
But there was like lingerie.
Oh,
It
that.
was just yeah. It's something that was like the last time I tried to break into the
Oh
cabinet.
my god. So my first talk was it was actually me watching the Terminator movie, the first one, and I saw Sarah Connor and the baby father actually doing it on the bed. And then one of my favorite actresses, Jamie Spears, she got pregnant at 16. And I asked my dad one day, I was like, so how did she got pregnant if she's not married? Then my dad was like, remember that time you watched The Terminator, the first one, when you saw Sarah Connor and the baby daddy just doing it? I was like, yeah. And he goes, that's how. So I was like, oh my God, ew. And I was like, well, at least I know what's up.
I think they're bringing back that TV show with Lynn Spears. The one.
Zoe 101, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're bringing that show back. I saw a commercial for it. But I don't think I ever watched that show. Was it on the Disney Channel?
No, Nickelodeon. I
On
used to watch
Nickelodeon,
it.
yeah. Yeah, they don't get along. Like, I follow Brittany on Instagram, but she doesn't allow anybody to, like, post any comments. You're only allowed to like it, which is really weird. Like, why can't you just post some comments?
Well, here's why, and I understand her pain, Sally, because just remember, there's a lot of trolls and haters on the internet, Sally, and these are like the same people that likes to make, like, they just like to add their own little 2 cents. Let's go back with my favorite comic again, Christella. She had to deal with a lot of criticisms because people were like, "Oh, why are you trying to stereotype us as Latinos?" It's like, idiots. It's not about you. It's about her life story on the TV show. In fact, I liked that TV show for season 1 throughout the whole episode set because my mom acts the same way as her. She was like this old school Mexican Catholic lady. I was like, that's my mom. Literally. My mom does this and she judges people. She goes, look at that whore over there. So shame. Ella no tiene vergüenza whatsoever. Oh, dime. Be like this. Ay, chica, dime todos los chisme meanings. It means like, tell me all. The gossip girlfriend.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. That's how my mother was back in the day. And she did have like an old school pot of tamales. Like, it's still there till this day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Does she make a lot of tamales?
Yeah, she does.
I had a friend, his mom made like 300 tamales and stuff. Yeah. I never did the communion. Like, I got baptized, but my parents grew up in Catholic church and they hated it. So they never wanted to go through Catholic church. So
Yeah.
I would only go to church when I went to Chile to visit my grandparents. But yeah, I never did the communion. But my mom is like that. She's very judgy about women these days. She acts like nobody has sex in her generation.
Oh my God.
I'm like, aren't you from like the hippie generation now? Where
My mother says the same thing. I
Yeah.
remember one time she tried to add perfume on me. She goes, here, this is for the man. I was like, Mom, I'm not trying to attract anybody
yeah,
at the moment. I just want to stay focused. And I remember at one point, my mom did accuse me for being a lesbian. I was like, you know what, Mom? Fine. I'm a lesbian. There.
I mean, you are in San Francisco, so you might as well be a lesbian.
Yeah.
You gotta be something in this town. Like,
Yeah.
you could be like a furry or something. Something weird and stuff. There's so
Yeah.
many choices. Sometimes I have to look up the choices to figure out what people are saying these
Yeah.
days. Like,
Oh, speaking of which, have you ever watched one of David Chappelle's sketch? I remember he did like this one joke about San Francisco. He goes, "Y'all need a Batman." I was like, "Yeah, he's telling the truth."
yeah, they do need something out here. Because I thought about what we need is like fentanyl, man, you know? Like there could be a spider on fentanyl who bites some guy, and when he ODs, instead of dying, he turns into a superhero called Fentanyl Man.
Yeah.
We do have superheroes based in the Bay Area. I think there was I forgot the name of them. There's a couple of, I think Ant-Man is from San Francisco, but we don't really have any cool people like Batman, not yet and stuff.
Yeah.
We need something and stuff. Yeah.
Oh
Do you-
yeah, we definitely need a Batman in
What
the
would
city.
what's your favorite superhero? Is there one you like or?
Yeah, so my favorite actually, I'm always really into the anti-heroes, like your typical Elektra, Ghost Rider, Blade, Venom.
Oh yeah, Ghost Rider is pretty cool.
Yeah, but there are some superheroes that I do like, such as Black Widow, Iron Man, She-Hulk, even like Spider-Man. I did love growing. I grew up around Spider-Man basically.
Have you seen the
Rogue.
Spider-Verse? The second,
Yeah, I did.
the second I saw like 5 times. The second,
Oh, it was pretty dope. I loved the soundtrack.
yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, and as for DC, I love Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah, Wonder Woman's cool.
Yeah, she's a badass.
Did you see the Blue Beetle? The,
Oh, not yet, but I will soon.
no, I haven't seen it either. I have the AMC Movie Pass, so I get to see 3 movies a week, but I haven't seen the Equalizer. The new, I saw the new Mission Impossible was kind of like,
And
it was the fun part is they had a train scene where they crashed was pretty fun,
yeah,
but it was hard because it's hard to think that the guy actually cares about the people around him, like he's trying to save another woman. I'm like, there've been 7 Mission Impossibles. Like every movie he tries to save a new woman and she dies. Like maybe there's a problem here. But then I found out he was actually a criminal. I didn't realize he was a criminal in the beginning and stuff. But yeah. So like what is your next thing? Like are you trying to like start an open mic or what are you trying to evolve?
my next thing is acting. Hopefully, I'll get into commercials or anything, on my first set. And same thing for voiceover, for animation, because I do love anime and cartoons and whatnot.
There's a
I
big acting school. Have you heard the ACT or whatever?
No, I haven't.
Oh yeah, I think we went in there because we were trying to rent a comedy room down there. But yeah, you should take some improv classes. I think improv is always good.
I was gonna say next semester at City College because I did recently change my major into acting,
Hmm.
and once I get my classes all started up, I'm gonna ask my counselor like what kind of classes I need to take for me to pass and all that stuff, because I do want to finish college, and this is the first time I actually want something or even like something that I love.
Stay out of SF State though. You should not go there. Whatever you do, don't go to SF State.
I'll go to Los Angeles University then.
Yeah, you should go to UCLA and stuff. I think you would do well in LA and
Yeah.
stuff.
No, you're right. In a way, there's also bigger and better opportunities over there than in San Francisco, even though San Francisco is where the arts is at.
Yeah, San Francisco's good for a lot of stuff. I mean, I like San Francisco and I like the comedy scene, but yeah, eventually everybody's got to move to LA. I know a lot of people who move to LA and they move back anyway. They didn't do shit.
Sometimes some people are, how do you say, they're afraid to dip their toes into the ocean.
That's
But then there's people like me that's not afraid to fail or even try to do new things because like here's my thing. Like if something were to happen to me, it's like what I told one of my audience. Like the only thing that can actually kill me is a car.
hmm
Literally. A car can actually kill me because if you see the drivers around San Francisco, there's a possibility that you will get run over.
that's one of my biggest regrets is driving in San Francisco. If I had to take something back, I wish I had never driven in this town. I got so many tickets. I crashed on the Bay Bridge twice. There's a reason I don't drive anymore. I think if I had never, and I got told don't drive to San Francisco. I got told over and over, but I don't listen. I like to drive, and now I can't drive anymore. Punishment. Uh, but yeah, I wasn't a serious. I think we crashed into a house when I was in high school. Have you ever been in a really bad car crash or?
No, but at some point I did almost get run over by some cars when I was walking down the street. That's why I get a little anxious, and like I said, I remember telling some of the audience and my customers too. I was like, that's why I love to eat and drink
Hmm.
because that way I don't have to regret about anything. Life is actually literally too short.
Yeah, because
It's like go try that cake over there. Go try that drink over there. Recently, I have this amazing old fashioned from this one cafe shop in downtown, and it was pretty good.
have you had an Irish cream or the Irish
Never
cream?
try it.
The Irish cream. I don't drink. I don't know why. I never really liked it, but I always thought about starting up, but I don't know why I don't like to drink. I just smoke a lot of weed, but I go to sessions and I go to sessions where they got like raffles. And like the last couple of times I've been there, the woman who runs the sesh looks at me like kind of sad because I get so high that it looks like I think she thinks I'm on drugs or something.
Oh my
And I get so high, like she looks at me like, "Damn, you're really fucking high," and it's like I feel weird about it, like I'm just overdoing it and stuff. But
Uh, I was gonna say everybody has their different quirks, I should say. Like there's some people that they don't like to drink, and there's some people that they do like to smoke weed, or maybe a little bit of both. Like for
Mhm.
me, I just like to drink than
Mhm.
smoking weed. Cause drinking, I'm like your typical, your old school, like Mexican girl. My
Mhm.
thing is tequila, 100% tequila, and also on a few occasions I do purchase like a bottle of wine or MD 2020 because that shit's pretty good.
you like you like that dog 2020. I didn't know they still have that around.
You
Like,
do.
what flavor do you like?
I like the raspberry one.
What about Cisco? You drink Cisco?
I haven't tried Cisco.
Have you had the Four Locos and stuff?
Oh yeah, I did one time with my crazy ex.
Oh yeah. Everybody I know who's drank Cisco has thrown up on it and stuff.
Mm.
I remember when I was like 19, we went to Tijuana because you could drink before you're 21 in Mexico. Yeah, we got really drunk down there and stuff. But yeah, I mean that's always fun. I used to drink in high school, because it was fun to drink in high school.
I didn't start drinking until like I was 20 years old.
Oh yeah,
In fact, my first bottle was a big old bottle of sake.
damn.
Friends.
You just decided to go for the sake right away.
I love sake. Sake is actually pretty good for you.
Oh yeah.
But these days, I haven't been drinking as much like I normally do. But then again, I have been cutting back. So I've been like exercising and writing down my thoughts and feelings on a journal. Basically, I'm trying to try out some new, I guess, a little bit more healthier way for my anxiety and depression.
Uh,
Except that I didn't really do like I didn't write down poems about my depression or anything, just like your last guy.
yeah, I was like, I feel bad for him because he has a good job, and it's weird when you read some people's posts. They have good jobs. It seems like they're having a good day, and the
Yeah.
next day is like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to do. I feel weird. Like, I don't know if social media is the right place for all that. Like because I know the guy, but I have another friend. Like he has a good job. He's rich. He lives in New York. And one day he's posting about like I don't know what gonna do. And then next
I
day
would've
he's like,
been
I'm in the
like,
beach.
oh my
Yeah.
god. I want to be like, boy, you're lucky that you're actually wealthy. Meanwhile, people like me who was like starting up as a comedian, like I
Yeah.
have to literally work my ass off.
Yeah.
But luckily, I have a dad who's like seriously funny, and he just passed on his gifts to me as
Oh,
his
yeah.
daughter. It's like I'm basically following, the family business as it is,
Oh
but
yeah.
from scratch though.
Your dad's funny? Like
Yeah, he's funny.
is he like funnier than you or
Oh yeah, he's very funny.
do you ever put him on stage or
No. He likes to do his own little thing or after work.
I don't think my dad's not funny. My parents aren't my mom she hates me talking about her on stage. Or she she was trying to get me to get a haircut. Like she insists I get a haircut before I go to Chile. Because my mom's like a Democrat here, but in Chile she's still right wing. So like, it's weird. My
Yeah.
mom always she becomes whatever is popular. She was really into Reagan for a while, and she liked Clinton. Now she hates Trump. It's like, but now, yeah, now she goes back to Chile. Her family's like right wing, but like to this day, it's like we got to get you a haircut. We got to get you a haircut. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm 51. Isn't it about time my mom stops telling me when to get haircuts? Your mom doesn't do that with your hair.
Actually,
Right.
she at some point she did criticize it. She goes, "I could always cut your hair short." I was like, well, I don't like long hair that much for one. And for two, it's like when it comes to short hair, it's super easy to maintain. I can just get out the door and just be like, I'm here.
People keep telling me that I look younger with long hair. That's why I'm like, I might as well just grow it out so people think I'm. People used to tell me that they thought I was in my 30s, and now
Yeah.
they tell me I think you're in your 40s. So I'm getting older. I'm like, how did I end up in the 40s already? I
Yeah.
used to be in the 30s. I was in my 20s. Like I age. Yeah, it's crazy, but it's weird. It's weird, like everything. Do you like stand up?
Me? Yeah, I like to be on stage.
Do you get nervous before you hit the stage? Or...
No, not really.
I always feel like I get judged. Like,
Well, to be honest, at some point, I I was nervous the first time I did stand up,
mhm.
but then I got over it later on. It's like little by little, I got over it. And there are times where I do feel like it, but then at the same time, it's like if you can laugh at so and so's jokes, it's like why not my jokes? At least I have pretty good material where people can actually relate to certain situations. It's so here like it's like what I said before. Like at some point you do have to deal with the silent audience, basically. But I just keep on going.
Yeah, it's weird because I had a joke. One of my friends asked me if I got stabbed in my knee. And I was like, well, yeah, the doctor stabbed me when he did my surgery, right?
Holy shit.
And I said that joke on stage and they looked confused. They didn't think it was funny,
They're
but
like, what?
yeah, that's the thing about comedy. You just never know. Like, if you got an idea, you got to say it because you never know what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, like at times I feel like when I'm at a book show, like on Fridays, and everybody's doing really well, I get nervous. I'm like, what if I do bad? I'll be like the only person doing bad, and that always makes me nervous because I always feel like people want to judge you, like, well, they want to say, well, you're in this category,
Yeah.
you're there.
Well, here's my thing. People are always gonna judge you no matter what. People judge me all the time just for like every stupid little thing. Like, let's see. What is the first thing that people always judge me? On my learning disability, there are some things that I can and cannot do. And then people do judge me
Hmm.
on other things as well. Like for example, my ideas, my lifestyle, whatnot, whatnot. Like for example, I had a friend which I try not to say anything because I already feel bad for her as it is.
Hmm.
Like her boyfriend cheated on her with another girl,
Hmm.
and now she's pregnant with his child. And I was gonna tell her that like that's why I'm just being smart about the decisions I made because I don't want to be in that situation as her.
Hmm.
Because it's bad enough that I'm broke and I'm in a dead end job as it is.
Hmm.
It's like there's no need to make my situation even worse.
Yeah.
But then I have to hold down my thoughts and feelings about it because I already feel bad for her as it is.
Yeah.
Like she literally cried that one night, and then my other friend like he tried to persuade me to do weed, but I was like no.
Oh yeah.
And then he said something else about like having a child. I was like no because I don't have a good situation or anything like that, and I don't want to work in the restaurant industry for the rest of my life. Like that's somewhere I don't want to be.
Are you
For the
talking about
next 10 years.
ecstasy, or did you say he wanted you to do E or?
Huh?
No, smoke pot.
Oh, okay. I thought you said
No,
E. I'm like,
no,
he wanted
I
you
said
to do
weed.
ecstasy or something?
No, pot.
Weed.
Okay, I was like,
No, pot.
oh yeah.
And then from there, it's like I realize, here's the sad thing. It's like, right now at 26, I realize that kind of thing, it's not cool anymore.
Hmm.
Just to get high off and just to be, just to be in that regular class mentality.
Hmm.
And it's like, it's no wonder you're down here, and then later in the future, I'm gonna be up here.
Hmm.
And the next, I want to say 5 or 6 years, I will look back and be like, dude, you're still here at the gift shop?
Yeah, a friend of mine, her son got two women pregnant at the same time. Like, I mean, that really, I think he's in jail now too. It's like those kind of things. Like, she wasn't happy at all. Like, yeah, I got two grandkids being
Oh.
born, two different women. It's like,
Yeah.
what the hell? So yeah, it's not good to get pregnant at a young
No.
age and stuff.
That's why you need to enjoy your youth. But then it's like some people some people are not like my Onenchan, which is my cousin, by the
Mhm.
way. Like he's actually pretty smart. Like
Mhm.
he already finished his 4 years of military service. He's a technician. He actually makes pretty good money, and he didn't have his first child, which is my nephew, by the age of 34.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he's really like making good money at being like a technician and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, my niece and nephew, my brother, they were like in their late 30s when they
Mhm.
had kids. Yeah, you don't have to have kids in your 20s.
No, check out Rihanna. She didn't have her kid until 43.
Yeah, yeah.
And Ginny Mai had her child by the age of 47.
Oh
And she
yeah.
still looks pretty good, but then some people are just too worried about, oh, what if the kid has this and that? It's like, well, who cares? Believe it or not, my neighbor, when I used to live in the Richmond,
Mhm.
she didn't have her child until I want to say 39 or her 40s.
Yeah.
And the kid is perfectly smart. Like,
Yeah.
he actually speaks 3 languages. Oh, actually, 4: English, Spanish, French, and some other language. And he goes one of the best private schools in San Francisco.
Oh yeah.
That's how much of a genius this man is.
That's good. Yeah, it's different. Like I'm 51, but you talk to a 51-year-old woman, they're getting ready to do menopause. They're like, it's
To me, it's a blessing in
yeah,
disguise.
and like they start getting heat waves. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really weird. Like I'm 51, but it's like different being a male in your 50s. Is like, where I live. I live in a senior community, and it's mostly women because men die early and
Oh
stuff.
my god.
Yeah, it's totally different, but it's like, yeah, you got time to just go at your pace or whatever pace
Yeah.
it is and
I
stuff.
think what's the problem with people nowadays, they just get, it's like what I told Papa Bear at one point. It's like sometimes, especially us females, we get caught up of the moment.
Hmm.
Basically, your typical Cinderella syndrome, like
Yeah,
having Prince Charming and having the perfect guy, or oh, what if I don't get this guy right away and he's gonna think that I don't care about him? It's like, whoa, hold up.
hmm,
You need to slow down a little bit. You need to see how things go because there's a possibility that he may or may not care about you.
that's
If he
true.
cares about you, then hallelujah, you're like one of the what 10% out there that actually had a nice good guy just for
Mhm.
you to date. But then if he's like a douchebag, then oh, you're fucked.
Are you getting ready for your Halloween? What are you doing for Halloween?
Nothing much.
Do you dress up for Halloween? I haven't
Nah.
dressed up in years. Like,
To be honest, these days I haven't been going out except for doing open mics and stuff.
yeah.
And as for Halloween, I'm not really into the holiday like that. It's just me watching horror movies and eating pizza.
So you go to Neck of the Woods, or
Yes.
you do Do you go to the other one too?
Which one?
What is the other Denny Dutchy one? The clam.
Myers Oysters?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say clam. I always do. I haven't been in that place. Like, yeah, I keep, I keep. There was one open mic on the guy who was here last week.
Yeah.
He runs an open mic Sunday. Like, I think it's called the Loma something. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, I haven't done an open mic in a while. Like,
Never heard of it. Normally I just switch it up to the oyster one and also the Mars bar.
oh, the Mars Bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever do like pan stuff? You ever do muni radio? Or,
I did it one time as a volunteer
mm.
just to advertise for Mark Knorr. That's
Oh
his
yeah,
name.
he was on the show too.
You
Yeah.
had to excuse me mispronouncing his last name.
I don't worry about that. I don't know. My last name is so bad that I'm not. I don't worry about people saying
Yeah.
my last name
But
is
tell him to
13
do
letters.
though. He's
Yeah.
actually pretty funny.
I might change my last name spelling because it's SCHIA, but I want to switch it to SCHAI. Like I want to have AI instead of IA as
Yeah.
a joke.
But anyways, when I first did the advertisement for his performance at the Co-op Comedy,
Oh yeah.
it was one of my best sets so far
Mhm.
for his commercial. for advertisement. Like I seriously put in the work because I actually want this guy to earn a lot of tickets on his sets,
Oh yeah.
like make money out of it.
Was it cops or was it
Yeah, the cops.
all the cops? Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you go on stage at cops or?
Not yet. It's the same. Sadly, it's the same bullshit over again. They say things like, "Oh, you gotta start from punchline, then from punchline, you're supposed to start from the cops, then you're supposed to record yourself. You need to have like a lot of followers and whatnot, whatnot, whatnot." It's like it just to me, it's I feel like clubs are just missing out on me.
I think so. You know, I did the punchline in Sacramento like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And I didn't my friend, he did a show there again, but didn't want me back and I didn't know what the problem was. And somebody told me last Friday that I ran the light. I'm like, are you serious? They're that mad because I ran a light. I'm like, they can't be serious. I don't remember running a light. You know? But yeah, people remember all this stupid stuff. You know, you have an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you go to the Milk Bar or?
The milk bar? No.
Yeah, it's like on Haight Ashbury. Like every Tuesday night, like at 10 p.m., they do open improv. They have like an improv thing down there. You should seriously think about getting into improv or something. Take an
Yeah.
improv class. I think you'll like it. It's really good for stand up because it makes you like think really quickly and stuff on your feet.
Well, here's the thing. For starters, like I don't have that kind of money when it comes to improv and all that stuff. And second of all, it's like I already know how to I know how to think on my feet.
Oh no, it's open improv. They're not gonna
Oh, okay,
charge.
okay, okay.
They're
I
not
see.
gonna charge you. It's like 10
I was gonna
p.m.
say like I already know how to think on my feet because like I always give out the most interesting stories out there. And thank God I'm also part Native American. So what do
Yeah.
you think? We
Some,
give up the best stories and the best wisdom out there.
yeah. Some improv classes are expensive. A friend of
Yeah.
mine is taking one at the Groundlings in LA. He's paying like $2,000. I'm like,
What?
that's a little extreme. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's like a famous.
Yeah, it's like Second City or something.
Yeah.
You're paying for
Yeah.
the names behind it, like Will Smith and stuff.
And of course, all he can tell me
Or,
about.
I'm sorry, Will Ferrell. Jeez.
And he can't. All he can tell me about his improv class. Like he has there's some hottie he wants really bad in the class.
Oh my God.
He's showing me pictures. I'm like, you're in LA. You're taking a Groundlings improv class,
Oh my God.
and all you can think about is some woman. Like you got to take this thing seriously. You know.
It's like what David Chappelle to his, he said to his best friend, save that bitch for later.
Yeah.
After law school. I was like, this man has a point. And yet people are trying to cancel him. It's like, don't cancel David Chappelle.
Yeah.
He's actually making some pretty good sense.
I think he has a house here somewhere in San Francisco. He lives out here part time. That's why he's here so much. Yeah, but that's true. Dave Chappelle is really good and stuff.
Yeah. Same thing with Christella. I like the whole vapor rub skit
Uh,
because I use it for my back. Ugh, feels good.
oh yeah, you like putting vapor rub on there?
Yeah, on my back because I have some serious back issues.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a joke? I don't remember. Like,
For her, yeah. It was such a joke. She was telling stories about how they couldn't afford medical and all that stuff.
yeah.
So if they use Vicks for anything, I was like, so do I. And it actually does. It works on my back, like literally.
That's the crazy thing about America, like the whole medical thing. You know, the middle class, they can't afford medical insurance.
No.
It's crazy. Like to have medical in America, you got to be like poor or rich.
Yeah.
And we got to fix that system because it makes no sense that we're making these people pay so much for their medical if they're in
Yeah.
middle class.
That's why I'm just trying to get out of the working class system. So
Uh,
maybe, well, not maybe, but someday in the near future, I'm gonna have my own little charity event. So that way I can help out those who just cannot afford certain things. Because
Yeah.
believe it or not, it's like at some point, I used to be poor. I mean, like in the future, just like a way, way past in the future, I'd be like, at some point, believe it or not, I was like you guys. I was broke. I was broken. I was doing a lot of things growing up. And no, nobody said things like, oh, here's a part I have to deal with a lot of rejections along the way.
Yeah.
And same thing with like clubs saying things like, "Oh, you're not." I don't want to say you're not good enough, but it's like you don't have that many followers and fans on your social
Oh
media.
yeah.
It's like to me, it's a headache.
Somebody try to charge me like a couple $100. I'll get you like 1,000 followers on Instagram if you give me a couple $100. I'm like, I don't know about that. Like,
And it's like, no, thank
but some
you.
people really go for that. Like, I don't understand how some people just build up their followers. Like, I never really had a big ass following, but that's part of the whole comedy thing is like the whole social media.
Yeah.
You should take a social media class. I think that's important. I thought about taking one because I need to learn social media. Like,
Well, for me, social media is just for me to look at the memes and stuff
mm,
and look for motivation quotes and everything. That's what really keeps my anxiety sane. It's just me looking at the quotes, but overall, I don't want to look through at social media too much because at some point it just gets boring and it's very toxic to me.
yeah.
Like, it's like that troll I told you about on my social media.
Oh yeah.
And by the way, if you're listening to this, screw you.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about this troll on my social media. I think she's just jealous of me because I'm doing better than she is.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
She's stuck in Sacramento somewhere.
Not really. She's
Oh, no,
she lives around.
She lives in San Francisco.
Yeah. It's like if you really want to do something, go out there and actually do it for yourself. Like nobody ever approached me be like, "Hey Coco, you gotta perform this club." It's like, no, I actually did it at my own free will. No one put a gun on me. My dad never threatened me about going to open mics.
Hmm.
I did it by myself. It's like what Adele says too in her interview. She goes, "I was on the path of myself, and I'm gonna continue on that path of myself." I actually give myself applause just for being alone on my
Yeah.
success.
So do you get paid like $18 an hour? Is that the minimum wage or
For yeah,
in San Francisco?
for minimum wage, yes.
It seems like a lot. Is that just what is the minimum wage in the rest of the country? Is
I do not know, to be honest. I haven't been to Iowa or Sacramento for a while.
Okay.
And but working in, did in jobs, it did taught me a very good lesson. In fact, recently I decided to write a book.
Mm-hmm.
It's called My 5 Years. My 5 years relationship with my demons. It's not ready yet, but it will pretty soon.
Have you
Like-
completed the 5 years yet with your demons?
I did. Well, like I said, I'm still writing it down. It's still like a work in progress, basically, but I will publish it pretty soon.
Yeah.
I don't know when, but I hope some of the viewers will like my book pretty soon. It just talks about the first day I come here in San Francisco. And then along the way, I actually went downhill.
How long have you lived
uphill.
out here? How long have you lived in
For-
the city?
This is my 6th year.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you go to high school here?
No, I went to college. Just
Oh, yeah.
college here.
A friend of mine went to Mission High School. Next to
Yeah.
next to
But although
the
just
park
to,
and stuff.
yeah.
I always think it's weird that like you're going to high school right next to that park. Like,
But just say for warning, I did change a few names because I don't want my favorite coworkers in the past
hmm
just to look for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. I'm easy to find because of my last name.
Hmm.
It always worries me. Like I can't hide for shit for people.
Yeah.
Like,
But the reason why I wrote this book because I don't not only I want every Latino or Latina to know that no matter where you are, no matter if you're lower class, middle class, working class, or whatever, or dealing with addiction, mental health issues, just let you know that at some point that used to be me.
hmm
And I wrote this book not just for motivation, it's for you to relate about the situation. It's for you to be like, wow, I can't believe she went through all that and still made it in life. It's like, well, I have to hustle. I gotta do what I gotta do. Like for example, like me and this filmmaker, we're gonna start making our own little TV show pretty soon.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know when, but it will. But I'll keep you guys posted on
What is
Facebook.
it about? Do you know?
Me and whoever really wrote it, but we will pretty soon. But we do have that chemistry.
You should have a podcast and stuff. You should do a podcast. You laugh.
I should. I should.
You laugh. This
I
is-
hear he knows somebody that has the studio in San Francisco.
I know. You laugh, but it's fun to do podcasts. You just get people in here, you talk to them. Some people hate it, you know. I haven't been able to get a lot of my friends on this show. Some people, the older people just don't understand podcasts. The younger people grew up listening to podcasts,
Yeah.
but you talk to somebody in their 40s. I had friends tell me they refused to be on a podcast at all. I can't talk at all. I'm like, I mean, you do like 20 minutes a night on stage. You should be able to do a podcast.
I want to be I'm somebody who never done a podcast before, and yet I'm doing it. Look at me, I'm
Yeah.
doing it.
It's fun out here.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of people I have on the show, some people I never even met. Like, you just do your research, but yeah, like, it's hard. I never really thought it's going to be that hard getting people on the show because people work. It's a bad time, you know, and for different reasons. But like some of my friends, I'm like nah. I had some people just ignore me when I text them. Some people, I texted one guy and he just gave me like a thumbs up.
Oh
That's
my
all.
god.
He gave me a thumbs up.
Why
Another,
can't you just say yes or no?
yeah.
Oh my god, that's
I
like the
put-
most simplest answer. It's like when you text me about
Yeah.
me joining your show on your podcast, I just say, okay, I'll do it. Only because it was actually pretty fun, even though I was kind of late. But to be fair, it's like San Francisco's not my
you
thing.
you weren't late. I mean,
Yeah.
the show starts at 1, but we go like 2 hours.
Okay,
so
okay. Yeah.
you weren't late. I mean, I had one person tell me her dog got out, showed up like an hour late. I mean, that's late.
Oh my god.
You know where Crockett's got to
No.
be. I don't know. Is that near Sacramento? I don't know what that is. She's like,
never
my
heard
dog
of
got
it.
out. I'm gonna be late. I'm like, that's late. Like, you weren't really
What?
late. Yeah, her dog got out. I'm like, forget your dog. Your dog is not important. I'm important. Chris is important. I think she runs a Tuesday OMG open mic.
Oh, I see.
I think she's Ashley. I think her last name, she's like a redhead. Her name was like Thomason or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say some people have their dogs around. Just for example, like that little
Oh
cutie
yeah,
pie,
that
the
dog, that
pit bull.
dog is nice.
It's just that like it's like a good coping mechanism, I should say. And I feel like she has a lot of anxiety, but like she can't just separate herself from her dog and stuff. Which it kind of sounds like me in a way, but then my dog, he's all the way to Sacramento and stuff.
Oh, your dog's in Sacramento?
Yeah, it was my
Alright.
mom and my sister's. Technically, that's my sister's dog, but then I still claim that as my dog.
That's crazy. Do you film your sets like at the Improv? Are you gonna film it or?
I'm not sure. Maybe. Actually, yeah.
I had a good time. I used to like do well in the Improv, and then the manager got fired. I never got booked there again. Like,
What?
I think he owns a club in San Diego, but he never booked me again. But yeah, I grew up in San Jose, but the improv is maybe like 15 years old and stuff. But yeah, the improv is pretty fun and stuff. But yeah, I remember once somebody told me they were on the open mic and they cut her off after a minute and a half. They didn't think she had enough jokes or something. So, I've never had that happen to me, but like, yeah, it's like, it should be fun. Who runs that show? Is that though? I forgot that guy's name who runs that show.
What show?
The San Jose Improv open mic.
That's a very good question. I don't know. I just like purchased the $5 open mic thing. And afterwards, it's like, okay, I'm gonna go over there on Wednesday for improv.
Oh, they charge you $5? Or
Yeah.
how does that work?
So they just charge. So you order your tickets online, then they charge you $5 for it, which is not that bad
Oh,
for
okay.
tickets. Versus
Yeah.
Punchline, it's about 16 or 20 bucks a
Yeah.
piece, just to what? Just to look for some kind of booker or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of bullshit because when you're starting out, it's like those $20, it's for your food and stuff.
The good thing is that the Brock goes to San Jose these days, but it doesn't go to downtown. It goes all the way to Berryessa.
Hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, like yeah, you should have a good time. I haven't been there in years and stuff, but
Yeah, yeah.
I'll never forget that one night where I had 5 Red Bulls. That's one of my favorite stories. My indulgence. My indulgence. I drank 5 Red Bulls.
My favorite stories is when me and my friends were playing board games, these card games. They're kind
Hmm.
of like those questions right there.
Hmm.
And then like we were drinking a bottle of wine, a vodka schmear, and look like coffee liqueur,
Hmm.
and we got drunk off that.
Oh yeah. Damn. Yeah, I remember when I used to play quarters with my friends in college. We were drinking vodka. That's when I stopped drinking when I realized I don't like vodka. I don't like this shit. I don't know why. There's no like pot smoking games. Like nobody's got to convince you to smoke weed. Like
Maybe there is right now nowadays versus back then.
that's it's all marijuana has changed so much over the years. Like I never really thought that mushrooms would be this open. Like I wouldn't be surprised if you could go to Walgreens in 5 years and buy mushrooms. I mean that's the way it's headed, and that's what they do when cities need
Yeah.
money. They always legalize everything they can legalize to get tax money off of
I'm
it.
good on the whole drugs things, but I do respect people who do those
Yeah,
things.
I don't judge
know what I mean?
anybody. I don't
Yeah.
judge people who do mushrooms. I don't.
Like, for example, I have a female friend that she loves to smoke weed, and I respect her for that. As long
Mhm.
as she doesn't really persuade me or pressure me to do it, we're good. But obviously, she's a very nice person. Like, she actually respects me. She goes, "Do you feel offended where I smoke weed?" I was like, "No, I'm not gonna lecture you about smoking weed. I
Yeah.
mean, I'll tell you some things why I don't like weed in the first place." And there are actually like scientific facts about why weed is actually bad for you and stuff. And but then again, back when my major was psychology, we did took a study about drugs, the side effects, and what does it like does to your body and all that stuff. And
Hmm.
right after seeing the homeless people, it's like, yeah, I don't want to get into the hardcore shit just like that, because it will literally rot your brain.
Oh hell yeah!
You know
Well.
the egg thing, and then you smash it in the pan.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that's your brain on drugs like that.
Oh yeah, that was my favorite commercial name. This is your brain on drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I remember my thing is I don't hang out. I don't have friends that drink a lot because they expect me to become their babysitter when they get drunk. And my days of babysitting drunks are over.
Oh yeah, that's
One
annoying.
time I had to convince somebody to get off the bathroom of a restaurant. Like they were so drunk they wouldn't like get off the bathroom. I was like, you gotta pay me to babysit drunk. That's one good thing about potheads. You don't gotta babysit potheads, like yeah. But yeah, drinking is like it's crazy. It's so open. I have a couple of friends that are just got drinking problems, and it's like a fucking nightmare and shit. But I can't say weed is that good for you anyway because
Yeah.
I mean,
Whereas me and alcohol is quite different. Like everybody, I noticed that everybody when it comes to alcohol, they're quite very different.
yeah,
Some people sleep, which is me. I'm one of those majority of people that actually sleep on alcohol,
uh,
and I don't get like angry drunk or anything like that. I just mellow out, basically.
you pass out. That's
And then
good.
there's some people that they just act way too freaking emotional and stuff.
Uh, there's one tequila you should never drink.
Which one?
The Casa Amigos. You never drink the George Clooney tequila. Stay away from now on because what the hell is George Clooney making tequila anyway? You know what I'm
For
saying?
profits.
I know it's private, but like, I'm down with like rich people. These famous people who came out with weed products. It's like nobody cares. Nobody's buying weed because you're famous. Like I don't even know about Snoop Dogg's weed, but it's like, yeah. When I saw George Clooney had a tequila, I was like, nah. I see the pictures of him in his Harley, and like, oh, whatever, dude. You're not supposed to be drinking tequila and driving Harleys anyway. Like, what kind of commercial is that? You know what I'm saying? What's your favorite tequila? Is there like one you like better than the others, or
Yes. Don Julio.
Of course, the Don Julio. Is it the 16?
See or no?
The
See.
1600?
The
How much is a shot of Don Julio anyway? How much?
So nowadays it's has gone up. It's like ridiculously expensive nowadays. It's like $30 for a whole bottle of tequila.
Uh,
That's why I drink some from my mom's house because hers is free.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the comedy show I do at Cal's, like my friend gives out drink tickets, but they charge him for it. The guy who runs the show, and he gave a comedian who wasn't even on the show. He just showed up. He said he was a comedian, and the guy used it for a $30 drink, and it just pissed him off. He like freaked out. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, yeah, it's crazy. Like, but yeah, it's like tequila sounds fun. You can't even get the worm out here, can you? Or
I
have you
don't
ever
know.
have you ever had a tequila worm or
The mezcal.
the mezcal worm or
I wouldn't go that far. I just stick with your basics: tequila, vodka, maybe a few whiskeys here and there, like your typical. I like the apple flavor of all the Jack Daniels out there. Like the apple flavor has always been my favorite.
like when I was in high school, I got drunk on tequila at a party. I actually knocked over the barbecue while they were cooking on. I
Oh
think
my
I think
God.
somebody hit me that night too, but I was on tequila. I didn't feel shit. But yeah, it's crazy, you know. But yeah, like when I was in high school, shit was so. I hadn't even smoked weed until I was like 19. When I was in junior college,
Mm.
that's the first time I got my hands on weed. And I remember the first time I ever did weed. I can't tell you, but in fact, I was so scared I gave the weed back to somebody else the next day. I don't know how the hell I started getting hooked on it, but yeah, I think it was just funner to do. But people would judge you back then, but these days, people judge you when you
I
don't smoke
I
weed.
feel like people are always gonna be the same regardless of what era and stuff. Because I noticed that we don't change our behaviors or our mindset or anything like that. I guess I want to say I'm like one of the 12% of the
Yeah.
human populations that who doesn't really judge people based on how they looked or what is their quirks or what kind of social status you are, skin color, whatever. Because believe it or not, I have friends who are they're actually in the rainbow. In the rainbow as in like they are African American, Asians, Filipinos, whites, whatever.
No, when you
Even
tell me they're in the rainbow, that means different. And
different skin color. And also I have friends who have different sexualities as well. Like
Yeah.
for example, my main best friend that she's a lesbian,
Mhm.
but I still love my best friend because I feel like me and her we have that connection
How long you been best friends?
since high school.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, for a long time. Because with her, I can be super blunt with her, like
With-
no filter.
Was she out in high school? Or when you were in high school, were the people out already in high school? Or
What do you mean by that?
did she tell people she was gay in high school? Or
I think she didn't came out until later on. I
did
believe.
anybody in your high school come out? Like, or is that
I remember my best friend Rudy one time. I still remember this. It was 2015. It was my senior year, and back then he had to hide his sexuality because remember it was Sacramento.
yeah?
People judge you based on your
Yeah.
sexuality and stuff. At those times, it wasn't exactly like the norm versus the now, like at those times. And the first thing he told me straight up, he goes, I at first I thought he was dying for one. I was
Mhm.
like, I thought you were dying.
Oh yeah.
And hey Coco, I gotta tell you something. I was like, what? I am gay. And I'm just like, this was my reaction back then. I was like, oh, okay. Why are you telling me this? He goes, well, aren't you freaked out? Aren't you gonna disown me? I was like, Rudy, why would I disown you because you're gay? That's stupid. He goes, well, a lot of people don't accept my sexuality. I was like, yeah, those are just those people. I'm not like those people. I love you because you and we actually love the same anime character, which is Levi.
Mhm.
And I told him straight up, I was like, Rudy, I always knew you were gay. He goes, how do you know? I was like, the way how you describe Levi, I'm pretty sure no straight man can ever say the word sexy or has a nice butt.
Was it because he never really checked you out? Like that's how I
Yeah.
knew Everybody else checks me out, but you don't even look
Actually,
at me.
not even back then. I wasn't exactly. I guess you can say I didn't really blossom
Were
not
you like a
until my
tomboy?
adulthood.
Or...
I was your typical emo chick back then. And as for it, and then I guess you can say he kind of expect me to be so dramatic, and be like, oh, like your typical demo novellas, like, oh, like you freaking out and all that stuff. And I always did tell my friends who are different from others, I was like, even if you were some kind of unicorn, I still love you. If you're some kind of alien somewhere in outer space, I'm like, shit, take me with you. I'm tired of Earth. Take me to your space station right now.
I had a friend, he had AIDS and he has AIDS, but he would start drinking out of my drinks.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept thinking, like, you got AIDS. I mean, is that even good that you're drinking out of my drink? I didn't want to say anything because it was in front of everybody. But like, yeah, there were times where I'd be like, I felt weird about it because I knew the guy had AIDS, but he was like, let me drink out of your drink.
Mm-hmm.
And I Googled it. I'm like, can you get AIDS by sharing a drink? So what are your plugs? How can people find you? What are your plugs? Like Facebook, your Instagram?
You can find me on
TikTok.
Facebook, Instagram, those two social medias. I don't even use TikTok that often.
But what is
Your Instagram is right below you there.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
What is it? What is your Instagram?
CL Lover, the little right here.
How you came up with CL Lover? I mean, how you
I
came up
Here,
with that?
look at that camera and tell them where they can find all your social media. This one right here.
oh,
There you go.
this right here.
Go ahead, do it again. Go ahead and show them
This
again.
right here.
Yeah.
This right here.
There you go.
See, that's my social media platform. CL Lover with a little dashy thing in the bottom. 12. That's where you can actually find me. You know, me, Coco Perez. Oh yeah, you were saying about how I got the name CL Lover. Well, like I love anime, so it comes from one of my favorite characters from Black Butler, and his name is CL.
Oh, okay.
There you go. All right. And then anywhere else other than Instagram where you can find you.
You can also find me on Facebook. I actually use my real name, which is Socorro Perez. It's SOCORO.
Cool. I just friend requested it and follow you. There you go.
Sweet.
Cool. And then what gigs do you have coming up? Anything?
Let's see. I have Neck of the Woods on Tuesday, then Improv this Wednesday for open mic. That's it for this week.
There you go. Right on. And then Chris, what do you got coming up this
I'm gonna
week?
be at Cal's this Friday, and the next Friday at Cal's, I got my show, and then I'll be spending 15 hours on a plane going into South America. I haven't been there in years, so I'm kind of nervous about it. I don't want to
yeah,
get judged by my family.
I'm also going to Sacramento on October, so I'm gonna continue on with my open mics as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sacramento's got a big comedy scene.
They
and stuff.
do. I went there for my birthday on a weekend that one time.
Happy birthday!
It was not this week. It was on June. It was one of the best times ever, and I didn't know I did a 10-minute set until the guy said something. He was like, "Hey, I like your set, so that's why I added like an extra 3 minutes onto your set."
That's
I was like,
great.
"Really? Oh, sweet."
All right, Chris, you know where I'll be this weekend.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be at Comedy Day Sunday.
That's right. Sunday, September 17th, one stage, 5 hours, 40 chameleons. Chameleons?
Chameleon.
That's pretty good. 40
Comedians.
comedians, a million laughs. Comedy Day, Golden Gate, Robin Williams Meadow in San Francisco. Hope to see you guys there from 12 to 5. And then what do you got going on next week's show? Do you know yet, Chris, or are we just going to be surprised when you hear it?
Yeah, I got somebody booked on. I forgot who it was.
Well, we'll figure it out. And definitely like and subscribe, JunkYard Rat.
JunkYard Rat. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok, Twitter, Twitch. I think I signed up for Twitch, but I've never used Twitch.
Yeah, we're actually on my Twitch right now. Thanks, viewer currently on Twitch. It's Paul Brumbaugh67 and Studios Online, as well as JunkYard Rat and Chris. Thank you very much, guys.
There's like 66 other Paul Brumbas. Or...
Yeah, at least 66 other Paul Brumbaughs. 67 is the year I was born.
Okay.
There we go.
I'm
That's a
like
little
there's
bit better.
66 other pop up.
Jesus.
You were born in 67. I was born in 72.
Well, there we go.
Damn.
And that shows you how the
97.
hell old I am, right, Coco?
Yeah.
So,
I'm a 97 baby.
97.
I have a
Yeah.
I have a 90, 95, 96, and a 98 baby.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
I'm all over the place. All right, you guys, you've been watching the Junkyard Rat Show. Until next week, tell them, Chris.
See you later. Thanks for coming.
See you whenever.